Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm here to read Acts chapter 27 in the New Testament. This for December the 3rd, 2023. You don't have to resonate with any motherfucking body, okay? I'm just doing it because I started the platform and I don't want to delete the fucking YouTube because I feel like, damn, I just wasted all this time and energy. Might as well just continue doing it even if I'm bored, okay? So let's begin. When it was determined that we should sail for Italy, they delivered Paul and certain other prisoners to a centurion named Julius of the Augustan band. Embarking in a ship of Albertinum, we were about to sail to places on the coast of Asia. We put to sea Astrachus, a Macedonia of Thessalonica, being with us. The next day we touched at Sidon. Julius treated Paul kindly and gave him permission to go to his friends and refresh himself. Putting to sea from there, we sailed under the lee of Cyprus because the winds were contrary. When we have sailed across the sea, which is all Sicily and Pamphyllia, we came to Myra, a city of Lycia. Okay, that's by Shantae and Miss Phyllis. There, the centurion found a ship of Alexandria sailing for Italy, and he put us on board. When we have sailed slowly many days and have come with difficulty opposite Sundus, the wind not allowing us farther, we sailed under the lee of Crete opposite Salmon. With difficulty sailing along it, we came to a certain place called Fair Havens, near the city of Lasea. When much time had passed and the voyage was now dangerous, because the fast had now already gone by, Paul admonished them, and said to them, Sir, I perceive that the voyage would be with injury and much loss, not only of the cargo and the ship, but also of our lives. But the centurion gave more heed to the master and to the owner of the ship than to those things which were spoken by Paul. Because the havens were not suitable to winter in, the majority advised going to sea from there, if by any means they could reach Phoenix and winter there, which is a port of Crete, looking northeast and southeast. When the south wind blew softly, supposing that they had obtained their purpose, they weighed anchor and sailed along Crete, close to shore. But before long, a stormy wind beat down from shore, which is called Equiladon. When the ship was caught and couldn't face the wind, we gave way to it and were driven along. Running under the lee of a small island called Claudia, we was able with difficulty to secure the boat. Okay, I guess that's how they came, okay, or whatever. After they ordered, they had to kill Queen of Italy, other daughter, just like the first one, okay? So, but they had to kill her first, though. They had to kill the mama first, though, okay? The other child, which is killed. Okay, so they're talking about what they did to her, okay, nicely. Fearing that they would run aground on the sighted sandbars, they lowered the sea anchored and so were driven along. As we labored exceedingly with the storm, the next day they began to throw things overboard. On the third day, they threw out the ship's tackle with their own hands. When neither sun nor stars shone on us for many days, and no small storms pressed on us, our hope that we would be saved was now taken away. When they had been long without food, Paul stood up in the middle of them and said, Sirs, you should have listened to me, and not have sailed from Crete, and have gotten this injury and loss. Now I exhort you to cheer up, for there will be no loss of life among you, but only of the ship. For there stood by me this night an angel belonging to the God who I am and who I'm served. See? Saying, Don't be afraid, Paul. You must stand before Caesar. Behold, God has granted you all those who sail with you. Therefore, sir, cheer up, for I believe God that it will be just as it had been spoken to me. But we must run aground on a certain island. But when the 14th night had come, as we driven back and forth in the Atlantic Sea about midnight, the sailors surmised that they were drawing near to some land. They took soundings and found 20 fathoms. After a little while, they took soundings again and found 15 fathoms. Fearing that we would run aground on rocky ground, they let go 4 anchors from the stern and wished for daylight. Yeah, they knew she was gonna come back. As the sailors were trying to flee out of sea and had lowered the boat into the sea, pretending they would lay out anchors from the boat, Paul said to the uncertain and to the soldiers, "Unless they stay in the ship, you can't be saved." Okay, then the soldiers cut away the ropes of the boats and let it fall off. While the day was coming on, Paul begged them all to take some food, saying, "Today is the 14th day that you wait and continue fasting, having taken nothing. Therefore I beg you to take some food, for this is for your safety, for not a hair will perish from any of your heads." When he had said this and had taken bread, he gave thanks to God in the presence of all. Then he broke it and began to eat. Then they all shared up and they also took food, okay? In all, we were 276 souls on the ship. When they have eaten enough, they lay in the ship, throwing out the wheat into the sea. When it was day, they didn't recognize the land, but they noticed a certain bay with a beach, and they decided to try to drive the ship onto. Casting off the anchors, they left them in the sea, at the same time untying the rubber ropes, hoisting up the foresail to the wind. They made for the beach. But coming to a place where 2 seas met, they ran the vessel aground. The bow struck and remained immovable, but the stern began to break up by the violence of the waves. Yes, okay, yes, she was supposed to die like her first daughter, though, but they freaked her, though. Okay, she did take the food, okay, because they said it was your death sentence, and she thinking, okay, well, you can put me in a fucking machine. They were like, oh, well, this the other frick. Then they showed her daughter. She like, oh, hell no. And they were like, oh, it's too late. It's already in motion. Or some shit like that. The soldiers' counsel was to kill the prisoners so that none of them would swim out and escape. But the centurion, desiring to save Paul, stopped them for their purpose and commanded that those who could swim should throw themselves overboard first to go toward the land. And the rest should follow, some on planks and some on other things from the ship. So they all escaped safely to the land. Okay, that's Acts chapter 27 in the New Testament. Enjoy.